Okay, hello. I wanted to make a quick video here. I'm hoping I'll make a few other ones down the road, and mostly just kind of for art stuff. So, real quick here, I wanted to give some advice when it comes to drawing for people that are new to drawing. Uh, some of the things you just want to focus on first is shape. And everybody knows their shapes. You have, circles, squares, triangle. And from there, when you start adding value, so we have shapes up here, when we start adding value to these shapes, circle is a really good example here because we can see how when we start adding value, and that's what this is, you could shade it or cross hatch it, whatever works for you. It starts developing form. And that's really the next step, going from shape, value, and into form. And really, it's hard to kind of show that sense of value for something like a square. I guess you could do it, but unfortunately, it doesn't really give us a sense of the form that we're looking for. But when it comes to shapes and it comes to something like a square, we would do something like this diamond shape or rhombus shape. Bring another diamond or rhombus shape together there. And finally another one. And now here's where we have these shapes, these three shapes that create a form. When we start adding value, we give it that three-dimensional look that it's actually sitting in some kind of space. And so there's a good example of how that works. Just kind of carry over there to this. Again, where do you put that value to make this look three-dimensional? It's not so easy. But when we go over here, you can start taking these triangles, and then we can start adding some more value there. And then there we start getting form. And with form is where we start getting those basic components. And these are all fundamentals for us to start developing the next things, like maybe an arm, cylindrical shapes. You have a circle here, kind of an odd rectangle that's kind of cut out with a circle there and rounded at the end. These are starting to be in your foundational parts for arms and legs and that kind of thing. So really, for those folks that are starting to want to draw and say, I can't draw, it's not easy to draw a perfect circle and get your stencil out for that if that's what you're trying to do, if you're trying to do something very precise, or get your ruler out for drawing those squares and those triangles. But really just keeping it loose and practicing every day. I try to spend, just even if I don't, I go to work, I don't have a lot of time to do much, but I can take 10 minutes of my lunch and I can just sit there and doodle. Even if it's, I don't know what I want to doodle, I just practice with using control on the pen to make circles, make squares, straight lines. And at some point you're able to take that, make a pretty good straight line pretty equally once you practice it enough. And you don't have to be a great drawer, but you're just learning control. And eventually you'll get to that point where you start seeing these forms in different things, and you can start developing your skill to grow into funny little characters, or depending on what level you're trying to get at, you're using these techniques to get there. So with this process of exercising, trying to do this 5-10 minutes a day, it doesn't take much. Maybe it's on your lunch, maybe it's you're waiting in line, waiting in line somewhere, and you have your sketchbook with you. This stuff turns into kind of a route and muscle memory, And I think it goes back to a saying that is, it's a process of continuing flow. And you'll get to that state where you're just like so into just making your circles and making your shapes that all of a sudden you're going to just start breaking out from that. And your imagination will take control. And next thing you know, you're drawing funny little guys over here like this. And you're just experimenting with the way things look. Who knows? You know, you could start drawing a clock tower from your shapes. And the next thing you know, you throw a mustache on it, and you make Big Ben an actual personality. You know, so that's funny. But little things like that. So yeah, if you want, like and subscribe, that'd be cool. And I'll make some more videos, I hope. Thanks.